Good morning, dear students. So today I am going to explain about some of the important image sensing and acquisitions. So what do you mean by image sensing? So here mainly we have four parameters. One, it is called as a single sensors. Second one, it is sensor strips. Third one, it is sensor arrays. And finally it become how image formations. That is what we call as image formation models. So we'll discuss one by one what is image sensing and how to acquire an image. So any camera, we can capture the image. It depends on the lens. The lens is made up of sensors. So that is what we called as images in which we are interested are generated by the combination of illumination is nothing but light, source of energy, and the reflections are also maybe called as observation of energy from the source by the element of the scene being imaged. What exactly the image? We have to project that, we can capture that image. If very good senses, the captured image also, it looks better. If the sensor is not good, even though image is good quality, but after once you have to capture from your camera, the captured image is not clear. It may be blurred image, degraded image. So these things, it will be depends on the sensors. Some kind of sensor we are going to use. So here mainly we have three types of sensors: single imaging, line sensors, then array sensors. In the line sensors, the number of sensors are connected in series. In array sensors, the number of sensors to be connected like a matrix. Now we will come to that how sensors work internally. We have filter. The light energy, it is called as incident light on the surface of the sensors. It reflects back and the energy is transferred into the voltage by the combination of input electrical power and sensor materials that is representative to the particular type of energy being detected. The output voltage waveform is the response of the sensors, and a digital quality is obtained from each sensors by digitizing its response. From these figures shows the component of single sensors. Is most familiar sensors of this type is a photodiode, which is constructed by a silicon materials and whose output voltage waveform is proportional to light. The use of filters in front of the sensors is improved selectivity. For example, a green filter in front of the light sensors favor light in the green band of the color spectrum. As a consequence, it will storage that is stronger for green light than for other components in the visible spectrum. So internally, you have to capture the image using the single sensors. How the single sensors with a motion to generate a two-dimensional image. Usually, we are representing two-dimensional images in order to generate a 2D image using a single sensor. There has to be relative displacement in both the x and y directions between the sensors and area to be imaged. The above figures arrangement used in the high precision scanning where a film negative is mounted into a drum whose mechanical rotation provide a displacement in one dimension. The single sensor is mounted on a lead screw that provides motion in the perpendicular directions. So this type of sensor is helps to capture the image, means it's a good quality of images. So this is another example, the image acquisition using a sensor strips, how the image acquisitions and strips, image acquisition using circular sensor strips, all these things. And then finally the how image formation model. Now all of you please look into this slide. Illumination source, light, energy, focus to the object, element, that is what the scene element. The reflected light through imaging system. In the imaging system, first it will be mentioned, projected of the scene into the image plane, and then that analog object converted into the digital form. See here, the same diagrams, how source energy reflect to the object, reflections, the reflection through the sensors, sensor to that object. So this is what overall combination of image acquisition and arrays. So finally, I will come to the conclusion of this module. Module 1, what's digital image processing? We covered in the beginning of the class, origin of digital image processing, some of the examples of the fields that use DIP, fundamental steps in digital image processing, components of the image processing, and finally element of visual perceptions, image sensing and acquisition. So next class we'll start with the module 2. By the time I'll explain more in detail about how image enhancement is occurs. Thank you. Thank you, Ananda.